welcome along to today's episode. There is an extended version of it on the IFS. If you're a subscriber, you get an extra 7 or 8 minutes or so. But if not, enjoy.
Here we go, here we go, here we go, here we go, this is it!
This is Top Flight Time Machine. I am Andy Hot Body Dawson. Pow, pow, pow!
I'm Sam Nifty Delaney, so what?
Welcome along. It's the Monday morning episode. Terribly sorry it wasn't available early yesterday evening as per usual. I'll tell you what, I was at the F1 at Silverstone, Sam.
Yeah.
So that's why I couldn't. I was making my way back from the F1 at Silverstone. So
Did it influence your driving on the way back? Because I know you had quite a long drive back home after watching it. And watching all those guys drive really fast all day, did it influence you?
Yeah, it made me want to be just like them. I was weaving in and out of the traffic and accelerating down the straights.
I call it man driving.
Yeah, definitely. You could see people on the way in and on the way out once they got onto coming out, the traffic was fucking pretty busy. Although I will tell you, I did do a logistical piece of genius in order to get straight out of there. People are men. It's all men, let's be honest.
Yeah.
Drive like that, and there was some of that going on on their way in as they approached Silverstone in their very, very expensive cars.
They're serious. They're serious drivers, aren't they? They the rest of us they see us as amateurs, but they're almost like they see themselves as semi-pro drivers, don't they?
There's a very strong Tory element.
Yeah,
I think to the audience at the F1. But I went because it was my son's GCSE congratulations end of exams treat thing, so we went to that. But oh man, I paid for parking in the car park of Silverstone itself.
Yeah,
it's got a massive car park. Paid for parking, and as soon as the checkered flag had gone up or gone down, I'm not sure which it is, or been waved around, and the race had finished, we were pretty much straight out of our seats and fucking power marched back to the car park, and we're out of there within 10 minutes onto the main road and away into the 140,000 people there. And I did a logistical
140,000. That's incredible. I am amazed. I had no idea that many people went to the Grand Prix. That's huge.
It was loads of fun. I've got a massive gripe with Silverstone, but I might not talk about it because there could be subsequent legal action.
Is it because of all the Tories? Was there was there a lot of people wearing Jake Humphries style massive watches?
There's lots of I didn't really notice them, but lots of grown adults dressed as their favourite driver, wearing the colours and the t-shirts of their favourite drivers.
Because they like a man because he drives good
for a particular company at a given time.
Yeah.
He is currently contractually, but it's no different to footballers and grown men wearing football kits, really.
No,
it's the same kind of thing. But the one takeaway that I came out from it all is that this is something for me and you to consider. Event catering is where it's at. That's where the huge dollars are. We paid for a cardboard carton of 5 chicken tenders, as they were described. I'd have called them goujons, but whatever.
Tenders is a new word I've noticed has really increased in popularity.
The generational tenders. 5 chicken tenders and fries, £14.40.
Fucking hell. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what it's like at Sunderland, but West Ham, that's what the prices are like. And the food
is that what it's like?
Is absolute shit. Yeah, I mean, it's... I think it's like £7 or £8 a pint of beer at West Ham. I don't know if that's particularly unusual, but the food, I try to eat away from the ground. But if you get caught in a situation where you haven't had time, you have to eat at a stall outside. Yeah, that sort of thing. If I'm with both my kids and I buy them both something, plus a couple of drinks, it's like plus myself something. It's £50, mate.
It's fucking hell.
And this is shit food as well, really.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what you thought of these chicken tenders you got, but...
I'll be honest, they were all right, but I was surprised that they were all right. You know what I mean? I was expecting to be like kind of bang average. But, Yeah, event catering. That's the gold mine, I think.
Yeah, and now there's so many fucking events. Look at,
Yeah,
I'm
exactly.
such a grumpy old man. I'm like, I hate events.
Yeah, just don't go to things.
Fucking events. There's too many events. There's
Yeah,
too many
there
events.
is.
My nephew, right? I heard yesterday that my nephew arranged to bunk into Glastonbury, right? And when I heard he was doing that, I thought, yeah, good on him, right? Why not? It's a great tradition bunking into Glastonbury, but then I remember in the 90s a lot of people would bunk in. I never did it myself, but I had loads of pals who bunked in. They said, you know, you get there and you bung a tenner you find some Scousers, right?
Yeah.
And there's usually
Are you sure they're always Scousers?
There is. They said look for the policy was you get there and you listen out for Scouse accents, and there'd usually be a few like groups of Scousers organising a rope that could get you over, or they'd built a tunnel because
Tunnel.
because Scousers are enterprising, right? 10 quid,
Yeah.
bang. Now, even accounting for inflation, I assumed when I heard from my mum, right, she said, oh, I am worried because he's doing a bunk into Glastonbury. And I said, no, that's great that he's doing a bunk. Fucking tickets so expensive, it's all corporate. Fuck it, bunk in, right? Then I fucking found out yesterday that he hadn't bung 10 quid to a Scouser. He had paid, wait for it, £500 to a bent security guard who just gives you a wristband and lets you in. Tickets for Glastonbury are like £300.
Yeah.
So he's paid extra to bunk in.
That's disgraceful.
What the fuck is the matter?
Also, there's been absolutely no jeopardy in the bunking in.
No.
He's got a wristband and wandered in.
He hasn't got the fucking thrill. He doesn't feel renegade,
He
right?
ain't got over the fence
By
or
the
through
way,
a tunnel.
no offence to my nephew, but he's not minted. I don't think he's got. Fuck knows where he got his 500. He must have been saving up all year for 500. It's like, mate, why didn't you just get a normal ticket?
And then once you're in, you've got the event catering to pay for, which is another
Fucking
grand.
hell! I was astonished. And the thing is, you know, I've been to Glastonbury. It's good, but fucking hell. I mean, obviously, I've only ever gone VIP, mate. And it's all right if you're backstage and there's some decent toilets, you know. But yeah, it's not 500 quid, all right. Mind you, he probably takes drugs. And that's a whole different kettle of fish. I mean, if you're on drugs, fucking anything's tolerable in some ways. But I mean, my attitude is, if you're going to take drugs, you could just stay at fucking home and take drugs. You're going to feel the same way. Put some music on Spotify. Put fucking something on Alexa and take some ecstasy tablets in your fucking kitchen. It's the same experience.
Fucking Glastonbury's on iPlayer. Just fucking sit really close to the screen.
Do you know what I mean?
On your drugs.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then have
Same
a toilet
thing.
you can go and piss and shit in. Right?
Yeah.
And have a
You don't have
blanket
to.
for if you get a bit chilly. I don't
Do it
know.
in the garden if you want.
Sit in the garden if
in
it
the
means a lot to you, you know. So, I don't know. I can't keep up with these modern habits. But
Yeah, we're
that
down
seems
with
madness.
events then, are we?
I'm down on events, although I am going to an event. I'm going to see PJ Harvey at Gunnersbury Park, which is very near to me. In, I don't know when it is, a few weeks, I think. So that'll be interesting. I'm planning, I've got a logistical plan for that. I'm going to fucking walk it. I mean, it's a long walk, but apparently they've decided to stage a massive fucking music festival on the North Circular Road, probably Britain's busiest fucking road, right? So apparently getting in and out takes about fucking, you got to reserve 48 hours either end of the gig. Fuck that, I'm walking it, mate.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Logistics, innit?
And,
event logistics.
I've never seen PJ Harvey live, but obviously I have very high hopes for Strangeness.
Yeah.
Because while I like the musical output of PJ Harvey, I'm not across all of it. I'm familiar with some of her award-winning albums, right?
Not the weird stuff.
Well, it's all quite weird, isn't it? But I suppose
Oh, it
the
gets
award,
weirder.
a couple of the ones that won awards, which is there was Let England Shake, and then there was Tales from the City, Tales from the Sea. Is that the other one? That's the one I
right.
really loved,
That's
right?
right,
I think
yeah.
they both won the Mercury. I'm not sure, but
not sure about England Shake, but the first one did. Yeah.
The first one is a great album. I think that there's prior to that, there's Extra Strangeness. But either way, I saw a bit of her at Glastonbury, and her behaviour is extremely peculiar, isn't it?
Eccentric.
Yeah, and so I'm looking forward to that. Do you think she'll deliver on that? Because that's really what I bought the tickets for. Yeah.
I think you'll pretty much get the same experience as she provided at Glastonbury, but she was playing some kind of zither.
Yeah.
I think at one point. Is it a zither? Is that what it's called?
I don't know. There's no way she's going to come out there with a normal instrument that any of us have heard of. It's not her style, is it?
We're also going to do, it was a zither.
Strange Movements.
A standalone episode on the zither.
Yeah.
In a couple of weeks.
She'll be doing some strange bodily movements as well, won't she?
Yes.
I expect so. She's a fan of those.
You can hope so.
So hopefully that'll be good. Yeah.
I'm a bit jealous of that. Nice one.
Yeah.
So we could start providing bespoke. That means you add another 300 quid on the price. Bespoke events logistics. Because I've done me F1 logistics. You've done your walk into Gunnersby Park logistics.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Mate,
we'll
do our own fucking festival, and it'll be called Logistics Fest.
No.
Imagine the cash you could make. Think of the cash.
No, we'll just do the events. We'll do the events logistics for people, bespoke for festivals they're going to, and also we can get into events catering because that's where the money is. And you haven't got to set anything up other than your fucking wok or whatever it is you use to cook the stuff.
You know, I said to you, think of the money. Have I ever talked to you about Paul Hardcastle's follow-up to 19, which was called Just for Money?
Just for Money.
And I think I have. I think I might have put something on the Turbo about it ages ago, IFS, about how it's the maddest video of all time.
Yeah.
I think I did. I was about to go into it now. I remembered I wrote something on the IFS about it. But it's well worth a look to anyone who never saw that, who's not Turbo. Look up the video. It's got Bob Hoskins and Laurence Olivier in it.
Laurence Olivier, of course it has.
Because Paul Hardcastle had unexpectedly made so much money from 19 that presumably he took lots of cocaine and then decided he was going to write a song about the great train robbers and
got completely, if you use pardon the pun, derailed by the success of 19 and had to follow it up.
Yeah.
And it took him about 9 months, I think, to follow it up. By which point everyone was like, who cares? Who cares who Paul Hardcastle is?
Yeah, they'd already had Camouflage by then, which to my mind was the natural successor to 19.
Should have done that, shouldn't he? Yeah. By Stan Ridgway.
Someone fucking stole a march on him there by doing Camouflage.
Yeah. So, it took him about 9 months, and everyone went, this is all right, I suppose. So it's no 19, even though you got Bob Hoskins in it.
It's fucking insane. And all the way through it, just think about the money, which I think of that voice pops into my head a lot when you and I are discussing things like a possible Top Flight Time Machine festival. You're like, it's not worth the risk. And I'm more like Hoskins, but think of the money.
And there's like an air of angry desperation in his voice as well when he says it. It's like, we have to do this.
He says stuff like, you'll never have to work again. With money like that, you'll be in Spain before the Rossers even know what's happening. Very much my attitude to launching a Top Flight Time Machine festival.
Yeah.
We'll do it in Shiny Row.
Well, there's a huge roundabout in the middle of Shiny Row. It's like a bowl.
I'll do it there.
But below level. We could do it in there. Like me and my brother always said we would host the Olympics there one day.
Yeah, well, this is the next best thing.
Have you politics update? Not a lot, because we've talked a lot about politics over the last week or so. But have you seen the footage of Angela Rayner on the Pride March in 2019?
Oh, I just saw. It's funny you should bring that up because I saw that just this morning, and it gave me feelings that I was hitherto unaware of about.
Yeah.
Well,
about anything.
I'm very. I said about Bridget Phillipson, your girl. I'd sort of apologised. I thought, we waited so long for a government that was sensible and progressive and compassionate and reflected the makeup of ordinary British society, i.e., lots of women, which can only be a good thing because they tend to be more sensible and grounded and less egotistical, for one thing. And so it's silly of me to then talk about their attractiveness. Is reductive the word for that?
Reductive is indeed
very
the word.
reductive.
Yeah.
That said, I'm going to do it again. I've been confused about my feelings towards Angela Rayner for a while. I think I love her politically, but in terms of as a man, a heterosexual man, I was like, how do I feel about Angela Rayner? She's not conventionally attractive, but I find myself attracted to her. But now it's seeing that clip from 2019 in her denim cut-offs. It's like, it's no brainer. So sorry, I'm being reductive here, but that's I
just brought it up because when I saw it, I thought of you immediately.
Well, I hope Sam hasn't seen this before he's had his cornflakes.
Jalapeño.
Anyway, yes. So there we go. That's the latest on the new Labour government, which we are quite enamoured.
All I would say is that a lot of people still banging that they're all the same anyway, and I would say that since they were elected, which is just a few days ago, they've cancelled the Rwanda
72
plan.
hours ago, pretty much.
They've cancelled the Rwanda plan. They've outlined pretty radical new plans for reform of prisons and sentencing. They've got
Sir John Timpson in.
They've got Sir John Timpson in. They've already made moves to work more closely with Europe on a variety of measures that will lead to better economic prospects for all of us and better security for the nation. They have also outlined new planning liberalisation so they can get a load more houses built, so there's more houses for people to live in and there's more money swimming around the economy. So I don't know, if people still say, well, they're just like Tories, then if that's what Tories were doing as well, then I missed something. But whatever you label them, you can label them what you want. I think that they've been doing a lot better in the last 3 days than the Tories have managed for the previous 14 years.
Pretty much, yeah. And more to come. We'll park the politics stuff for now, but there will be more.
What about the football? What did you watch that in your Premier Inn?
We watched that at the Premier Inn because we stayed about an hour away from Silverstone so that we could just get in there as early as we could. I was in Silverstone for 7:45 a.m. yesterday morning.
Well, because you wanted to get in the right spot.
The first race was on at 8:20. Formula 3.
What are they? Are those sort of like jalopies? Do they go round in Nissan Micras?
Yeah, they're like you remember the Beverly Hillbillies? What they
they got one of those. Yeah,
it's them. It's like the wacky races.
Yeah.
It's like that.
So no wonder you got there early. That sounds much more fun than the proper one.
The best one.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then there's Formula 2. And then there was some Porsches that were racing as well in the pissing rain. That wasn't so much fun. But, what were we saying? Yeah, Premier Inn. So I stayed in Premier Inn near East Midlands Airport, I think. Just south of Nottingham. South of our spiritual home of Hucknall in Nottingham.
Yeah.
But, yeah, we ended up watching it in SD on a little Premier Inn telly.
Right.
That was probably the best way to watch it until it got to the penalties.
Do you feel gaslit at this stage by Gareth Southgate and the England players?
I feel gaslit by them. And now also by Gary Lineker and the BBC pundits.
Yeah.
Who were going on about how fucking great it was at half time.
Yeah, and
it clearly wasn't.
Me and my brother and my son have been going, fucking hell, Foden's been anonymous again, hasn't he? And then it got to half time and they were like, what about Foden? Really showing that he's a world-class player. I do think Lineker is gaslighting the whole nation. What's he going to say next? Do you know what I'm sick of? Fucking immigrants. That's what he's going to say next,
just to see what happens.
Yeah. He's like trying to play games with us. Yeah, I feel gaslit, but part of me thinks that, are we going to shithouse our way to European glory? In the style of the Italians. I mean, or the Greeks. A
lot of people cite in Greece, yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people cite in Greece, but I wouldn't say we're as bad as that because Greece only sat back. England haven't been sitting back. England have been trying to attack, but failing to find a way of doing so effectively. Yeah. Whereas Greece turned out to low. Yeah. Well, England have not once said, all right, we're going to low block through 90 minutes. We may do that if we reach the final and have to play Spain or France, but we haven't had to do that once. So we're trying. I would say it's a bit like Italy last time around. It's like Italy didn't pull up any trees. They didn't impress anyone. We weren't like, oh, wow, what a team. No wonder we lost them in the final. We were like, how did we lose to that fucking bang average side? So maybe Southgate has taken a look at previous near misses and thought, actually, this is my last chance. Let's just shithouse. Let's see if we can shithouse our way through it.
Yeah. Well, it's a shame. It's a shame if he thinks that's all he's got, really. I'd rather they went out in glorious style, attacking in the way that Turkey have done. Turkey have been brilliant during this tournament.
They have. And Georgia were good. They got knocked out fairly early. But
they ended up playing each other, could cancel each other out. But, yeah, Turkey, Yilmaz up front for Turkey, who seems to have the energy of Don Simpson.
It's a fun name to say as well, isn't it? Yilmaz.
Cocaine pump. Yilmaz.
Yilmaz. You can just say it non-stop and get a little thrill out of it.
Running around, harassing defence. I'll tell you, get back to England. The best thing that could happen for England is for Harry Kane to be injured after falling over that picnic.
Yeah, silly bastard.
They had at the side of the pitch.
Yeah.
And for them to have to bring Ivan Toney in.
Yeah.
Because you'll see some fucking running around then.
Fucking Tony. And I like Tony's attitude. Like, for me, Harry Kane is finished.
Yeah.
And people go, he scored 40 goals in the Bundesliga. You know what? Fuck the Bundesliga. Right? There's plenty of players score a lot of goals in Bundesliga and come to England and do fuck all. Because the Bundesliga is shit. Right? Harry Kane is lumbering about like fucking Lee Chapman. Right? He cannot keep up with the rest of the fucking team. Right? He used to. He always nicks goals, but I can't remember him playing brilliant in any of these tournaments, right? But he nicks goals, he scores a lot of penalties, and the other thing he used to be good at was winning penalties and free kicks around the box because he'd fall over a lot. He was good at it. He's not even doing that now.
He got it in the last World Cup? Did he not get a hat trick against that silly little country that we played and we beat 6-0?
Yes.
And that
was that
went
Iran?
A long way towards getting the goal. Did he get the golden boot? He might have done.
Probably, yeah.
But thanks to that hat trick against Turkmenistan or whatever it was.
Yeah.
Who we beat 6-0.
Yeah, it was Iran in the first game. It was Iran.
Oh, it must have been the one before. Which tournament? I'm thinking of the tournament that was...
there was Chile. We beat Peru in 2018.
2018.
Yeah, we beat them 6-0, didn't we? That was Peru.
Peru? Paddington's Peru.
Yeah. I mean, John Stones scored twice in that fucking game, so that tells you all you need to know. Yeah, Harry Kane is... I mean, he's finished. It's like, you see it with all these players who were our talisman or captain, and then they kind of... It gets towards the end, everyone can see it, but the manager doesn't have the guts to sort of just take the action that's needed. Even Rooney, who we're obviously huge fans of, towards the end, you know, he should have been dropped. But it's such a big decision to drop the captain. You know, it's almost like out of respect, these managers wait for the captain to retire. You know, like Beckham. Beckham was getting a bit old and past it by the time he quit international football. So I think that's the situation that England are in with Harry Kane. I actually think you're right. I think we could have actually won these games more convincingly had we had a proper striker who was able to, like, you know, fight and run and get on the inside. You know, to be fair, Saka was getting crosses into the box in a lot of these games, but particularly the other night against Switzerland, and there was just no one there. We got one strike and he was like fucking yards off the pace. So that's frustrating. And plus as well, I think Holland are good. You know, I think Holland... I mean, I thought Switzerland would beat us and they very nearly did. And Holland... Have grown into this tournament, and
Holland have been really good.
They do score goals. We've come up against a lot of teams who've struggled to score against our defence. Thank God, but Holland have got goal scorers. Gakpo scoring a lot of goals. Even Depay with his cowboy hat and Rolls Royce, you know, seems to be.
Dumfries is a dangerous player.
He is very good. He's really good. And Simons.
They've got Matey Boy from Liverpool at centre back as well, so you know that makes
they've got the best defence in the tournament.
Yeah,
they got De Vrij, Matey Boy from Liverpool, Nathan Ake, and Dumfries. Yeah. And they got De Ligt on the bench. I mean, he's fucking amazing. He can't even make the team. So they'll probably beat us, won't they? Actually, thinking about it.
I think when I was looking the other night, I thought either of these teams would probably beat England. Yeah. Including Turkey.
Yeah.
So I think Turkey have been really good. They've been really swashbuckling, which I like to see.
The only thing is
we have more of that.
We haven't come up against the team every team we've played have approached the game as, okay, let's frustrate England. If we defend and keep players back behind the ball, we will be able to frustrate England. And they've almost all of these teams been successful in that, right?
Yeah.
But when you're in a semi-final against Holland, I wonder whether or not Holland are going to be a team who are going to think, well, let's just sit back and frustrate England. I think Holland's fans and the tradition of Dutch football will mean we've got to go for it and try to attack this team.
Yeah.
We haven't played a team that's tried to attack us. And maybe if we do and suddenly there's more space, our attacking players will come into their own more because they won't just be like passing it sideways in front of fucking 10 defenders.
Yeah. But in that case, if you get through that, then you've probably got Spain in the final. It's Spain versus France. In the
Spain versus France, yeah.
France have been awful. France have fucking shit out their way.
Well, they might win it, mightn't they? You can see that.
Imagine a France-England final. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Mbappe broke his nose. And he hasn't been able to play properly ever since.
Hasn't been the player he normally is.
I can't play properly with my nose broken, even with my special mask.
I'm not sure we even know what kind of player Mbappe is because fucking hell, he's been playing for PSG in a dog shit league.
Yeah. So, he did score a hat-trick in the World Cup final, which people forget because so did Messi. But I feel that World Cup final was fixed by FIFA because it was a bit like, it was too much like Roy the Rovers vibes, like the two best players in the world both scoring hat-tricks. You know.
Could be.
It was like David Skew had been drafted in.
Is this that final was one of the best football matches I've ever seen?
Yeah, it's incredible.
I can't remember very much about it. That needs to be put on the telly every Christmas day.
Yeah,
all 90 minutes or 120
It
minutes.
was also made it extra funny that it was at Christmas.
Yeah, it was, wasn't it? A week before Christmas.
That gives it even more Roy the Rovers vibes. It's like, in a twist of fate, the World Cup has been forced to take place in Basra on Christmas Day.
and fucking Messi had to wear that wizard's gown before he collected the trophy, which
did
just
we
put
all
a right
during
bummer on the whole thing.
Do you often watch the thing? I wonder if actually the world ended during COVID, because the time when I think of COVID being 4 years ago, it makes no sense to me. Do you know what I mean? I feel like it just happened. It wasn't 4 years ago. Yeah. And so time has lost meaning since COVID. And so sometimes I think maybe we all died, the world is over, and one of us or all of us are dreaming this. And that would tally with the World Cup at Christmas in 2022, because it did feel like a fever dream, didn't it?
And this thing, these anti-vaxxers and everything keep going on about the Great Reset, which is coming down the road.
Yeah.
Maybe the Great Reset already happened.
Yeah.
And that's a distraction. That's
it
a
would make
distraction
sense.
reset, which isn't going to happen.
We all had these injections, and now we're all dreaming shit.
I know we've all voted Labour.
We've all voted Labour, and England are in the semi-finals of the Euros. I said to my nephew, who's my niece's husband, the Geordie, whose wedding I went to the other week, and I saw him yesterday, and I was like, "Fuck me, mate. First you get married, then we get a Labour government." I said, "You've got to be thinking to yourself that England are destined to win the Euros." He went, "Don't say it! Don't say it!" And I said, "What?" He goes, "Because obviously I've been fucking thinking that, right? He goes, like, everything's been going too well. And so obviously I've been thinking, well, the next thing is we're going to win the Euros." He said, "But I didn't want to jinx it by saying it, and now you've said it." And I said, well, someone had to fucking say it.
But to be fair, it was a very Tory performance they put in on Saturday.
It was Tory, yeah. Southgate, although he said a lot of socially progressive things in his time, which brought him a lot of favour from many of us.
Yeah, they've written a fucking play about him.
They wrote a fucking play about him saying nice things, about saying how none of us should be racist, which I think is a nice assessment. I think it's a nice sentiment. Don't be racist.
He's David Brent.
Yeah. Gareth Southgate.
About him saying David Brent stuff.
Gareth Southgate, what is your legacy? Well, I think that I would like to be thought of as the least racist England manager of all time. And I think that counts for a lot. Does that count for more than winning a trophy? I would say so, yeah. So, but yeah, in other ways, he comes across as like someone you could imagine at the Young Conservative Club, doesn't he? Especially when he was wearing waistcoats.
Yeah.
That was very
Coldplay
suspicious.
at Glastonbury now seems like the ushering out of a Tory administration.
Yeah.
That's like your last hurrah. Coldplay on stage.
Yeah.
At Glastonbury, all reading from their Bibles together and
There was a great...
trying to heal Michael J. Fox.
There was a great tweet with someone saying, no wonder Lampard desperate for an England win after the terrible week he's had.
Yeah. All right, then. Thank you very much for listening, and that's that.
That's that.